The salty scent of the Firth of Forth drifted through the narrow streets, mixing with the rich aroma of ale and freshly baked bread from the nearby bakery. It was the kind of place where time moved slowly, even the cobblestone streets reminding of times past. Erin Maguire had agreed, against her better judgment, to meet Tammy Lockhart at the Red Lion, a cozy pub with white-shuttered windows and a red brick facade that stood at the heart of Couros, a picturesque village an hour north of Edinburgh, where she currently lived. Meeting the petite blonde at the pub was a far better option than venturing to Dunnimmarrel Castle, a place haunted by more than its centuries-old stone walls. To go there would bring stark reminders of the memory of something that made her question her sanity. The idea that other realms existed, that travel between them was possible, sounded just as absurd now as it had the day after she'd returned from what Tammy insisted on calling the Altar World. No matter how many times she told herself what happened was impossible, no amount of logical reasoning could erase the fantastical things she had seen. If not for the fact that the woman sitting across from her was unwaveringly insistent and could describe every last detail of what Erin herself remembered, she would have an easier time dismissing it all as a hallucination, a realistic dream caused by too many late nights reading fantasy romance novels. There had to be a logical explanation, shared delusions, some kind of psychological phenomenon. She had read about those before. They were called collective hallucinations. If it weren't for the fact that pulling out her phone mid-conversation would be rude, she'd be researching it right now. "We need your help," Tammy said again, her voice edged with desperation. Erin exhaled a slow breath and leaned back in the booth, pressing her head against the solid wood. "I'm trying to forget," she admitted, her voice barely above a whisper. Tammy leaned forward, tapping her finger against the wooden tabletop with urgency. "I totally understand why you'd want to push the memory away. What happened was horrifying. But, Erin cut in, "you're saying that it's my responsibility to save Padraig, the man who is supposedly still trapped there?" A flicker of frustration crossed Tammy's face. "Not supposedly. He is trapped there, Erin, and we desperately need your help." "We?" That single word carried the weight of an impossible truth. Tammy and her sisters had already rescued 4 men, knights who had been cast into that place centuries ago by an evil sorcerer named Meliot. The wizard had cursed them, banishing them to the Altar World after they thwarted his attempt to seize a village. For nearly 300 years, the men had been lost in a strange, enchanted realm, prisoners of dark magic,